First, let me just address Mr. Daniels. When you have someone that trusts you and is willing to put something in your lap that most people in the Hollywood industry would say, no, she's a funny lady. No, well, we only know that she can do that. And he trusted me with 2 projects. One was Shadowboxing, and the other was this movie called Push, before it was called Precious. And because you trusted me, brother, you allowed me to go on this journey that I still pinch myself about. And I still say, who was that girl in that blue dress on that night when they said, and the Oscar goes to? So as I stood backstage and I watched that, I had to say to myself, hold on, because you can't mess your makeup up just yet. They got to see the fabulousness when you go out there, baby. You can't mess it up. And I said to my husband, Sydney, this morning, I said, Sid, I really don't know what to say. And as I'm coming here this evening, I'm like, what am I going to say? And as I'm sitting in my chair and the brothers and sisters, y'all are all coming up to me and saying, thank you, and we admire you, and you inspire us, and thank you for loving us. Well, I got a secret to tell y'all. Before anybody knew who Monique was, before anybody was standing to their feet, before anyone was screaming my name, there was this community of people I met when I was 17 years old. And I went to this place in New York called the Garage. Yes. And they welcomed me in such a way that was so loving, so genuine, and so sincere. And I didn't feel like I was this fat black girl that people were pointing to or laughing at. When I walked into that world, it was with open arms, and it was so accepting and so loving. And then I got introduced to something else. I had a cousin say to me, and this cousin, we knew as a child that he was gay. You could see it, you could smell it. He spoke it, honey, he plucked and plucked. At 4 years old, I ain't playing. We were like, oh my God. But I watched, even as that child, how our family treated him. I watched them shun him. I watched when he came around. I heard them say, here come that little fag. I watched them mistreat him. And one night he said to me, when we were adults, he said, I gotta tell you something. I said, what? He said, the boys love me and I love the boys. Yeah. That's what I said. And he's here tonight. Understand why I was being introduced to that world. I could not understand why, because I said, well, I'm not a lesbian. Why am I being introduced to this world? I'm not a gay man. Why do I keep being introduced to this world? And then my very best friend since the 6th grade. And I knew in the 6th grade, I'm like, she different. She different. But I watched my very best friend struggle through life, unsure, scared, wouldn't say nothing, not even to me, until the night before my wedding. We were having a conversation, and it got so so deep, and she was so adamant about homosexuality and how it was against God and the Bible. And at that moment, I looked at her eye to eye, and I said to myself, okay, she done had a little cat, and she don't know how to say it to me. And last year, we went on a vacation to a resort. And when she came all the way out, I applauded her because I said, now the freedom begins. So, to give me an award this evening for loving is a little confusing for me, because I feel like I should be giving each one of you in here tonight this same award for loving me when no one else was. So to all of my gays, all of my lesbians, all of my bisexuals, my transgenders, I say I love you so completely, with no judgment, and please hold your head high with no apology, because God made you just the way you are supposed to be.